Dodge's first hybrid is here, and it comes as the RT trim on this Dodge Hornet. Now, the Hornet comes in at a little bit lower price point than the Alfa Romeo Tonale, but Dodge gives you plenty of add-on packages for this thing, including a cold weather package, a blacktop package. You also have a tech package, and what this one has, the track pack. So with the track pack, you get these awesome gloss black 20-inch wheels along with the red brake calipers. And then you also get a dual mode suspension, this leather steering wheel, and the Alcantara heated front seats. Now we come around to the back, we'll take a look at the cargo area. It is not powered. If you go up to the Plus trim, I believe you do get that powered. Back here, you're gonna get about 23 cubic feet of space. You do have a 12-volt plug right back here. So you do have some power back here. You've got your child seat lockdowns right there. Got a couple tie down spots right here, a couple hooks for your grocery bags right there. And underneath here, not a lot of space, but you do have enough room for your cable. Now for the powertrain here, we've got a 1.3 liter turbo inline 4-cylinder with a plug-in hybrid battery. You're going to get about 288 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. Now it's going to come with a 6-speed automatic transmission, which is different than the GT, which actually gets a 9-speed transmission, I believe. You're going to get about 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds in this thing. Now the fuel economy, of course, is always a little confusing when you get into your plug-in hybrids. So you're going to be rated at 29 miles per gallon for the engine and 77 mile per gallon equivalent for the electric portion. Now we could talk about the electric battery portion here, and there is your standard J1772 plug. What you have here is a 15.5 kilowatt hour battery, gets you up to 33 miles of range. It does support 240 volt charging, so you can charge all the way to full in 2.5 hours. That's actually not too bad. Hey guys, do you know what this means? Do you know what this symbol stands for? This symbol stands for you clicking the subscribe button. Because when you click the subscribe button, that helps me bring in more cars like this Hornet to review for you guys so that you guys can see the insides and outsides and the things that we like and don't like. So go down and click the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and then meet me inside. Let's go check out this inside, and nothing fancy, just a black door panel. You got a little spot for your bottle. You got the red stitching that comes with the track pack, I believe. And you just carry that red stitching up across here also. But then we look at these powered seats, and they are leather on the outside, Alcantara down through the middle, and you've got the Dodge logo up top. These are heated, but they are not ventilated. You can't get ventilated seats with the Alcantara in this. All right, let's get inside and take a closer look. All right, so let's start over here. Door panel, similar to the driver's side. And here's a little bit better look at these seats and the way they have that little red perforated design underneath there. That is really cool on that. They are pretty comfortable. They seem like they could be a little bit stiff to start, but overall they are pretty comfortable. Coming across here, this is a softer material. The stitching also is here, and then this is not hard, and it's not scratchy, but it's a decent quality material there. Let's go ahead and get into the driver's display. So this is a fully digital screen. I believe it's about 12.5 inches. You got your speedometer on the left side. In the center, there is some information that you can change. And then on the right side, you have your power or your RPMs, and that also has some information in the center of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the center part first. You've got your digital speedometer up at the top, along with your driver's safety with the speed limit sign and your automatic headlights. Now, if you look back here, we have a page button right here. This page button is going to activate that center one, and then you use the scroll to flip through them. So you can move your driver assist here, your average and your current mile per gallon, your speedometer you can put down there, and then you've got your braking when you're in electric mode. So it kind of will let you know your power where you're accelerating, and then when you're braking and your regen braking. And then I generally keep it on this one because you can actually see the engine and the electric at the same time. So it'll tell you which one's working at that moment. If you press the page button twice, then it activates this screen over here. And in this screen, start at the top, Android Auto information, whatever you would have there, your compass, trip A, trip B, your tire pressures, instant and current mile per gallon. So that's all of those. Put this in trip A, and you can see we've driven 116 miles so far, and we're averaging 45.7 miles per gallon. That's pretty cool. I like the way that it displays 68.7 miles of gasoline and 47.5 miles of battery. I like seeing that, so you can see whether you're keeping things balanced or not, and then you have the cumulative mile per gallon down there, and it's pretty nice. You can also see at the bottom, it tells you how much battery you have left, 23 miles. I hit something. I just learned something. On the side of this button right here, this is the menu view button. So while this is up here, you can actually hit that button and change the way that the dials look. This steering wheel, it is nice and comfortable. It does have, it's fully leather all the way around here. This one is heated. On the right side, you have your page button, which controls all of your information up there. Your scroll, when you're using the menu, it will adjust through your pages right up there. Your phone, and then this is your volume for your stereo. When you're not using that, then this will also change your tracks on your stereo. On the left side, you have got your cruise control, your adaptive settings. Then over here, you have your set speed, plus and minus, and it's one time up, and one hard one up will trigger a second thing, which will increase it by 5 miles per hour, and then you got cancel and resume. Now, the difference between this one and the Tonale. This one here, have the drive mode button is right here, where on the Tonale, this is the drive mode button, and this is the start button. So they switched those around. Also, this has a sport button, and the Tonale does not have a sport button because it has a dynamic mode. The modes on this one, you have electric, e-save, and hybrid. In hybrid mode, it's going to use the electric battery unless you use a hard acceleration. If you use hard acceleration, it will kick in the engine, it will get you to the speed that you're wanting to get, and when it calms back down, then it will shut the engine off and you will run on electric again. On the electric mode, you will be fully electric the entire time, except if you trigger the kick down switch underneath the accelerator. So if you push it all the way to the floor and click that button, it will automatically turn the engine on, get you up to speed, then go right back to the electric. In your e-save mode, you can set that up to save your battery or recharge your battery. The dynamic mode in the Tonale is equivalent of using the sport button. When you turn the sport button on, it will be engine only, so it's all engine. All right, let's go through a few things on this infotainment screen. Of course, it is about a 12.5-inch screen also. So to start off with, you have your home button, which takes you here. You can go to your Android Auto. You've got your phone, a few different little things. Your media, That'll jump you over to whatever you're listening to, the FM, XM radio, or your phone. Comfort, this is where all your climate control buttons are, which are easy to use. You got a little toggle, you can go back and forth if you want to. You can actually just hit the arrow and it'll go up and down, that's fine too. This is where your heated seats, heated steering wheel are. You can sync both sides, and then you've got your normal things over here. You can also decide whether you want it blowing on your feet, your head, all of them, none of them. Your phone, this is where your phone settings are all at, and then you can go to vehicle. Inside vehicle, you have a few adjustments, not a whole lot. So in the My Car, that's where you're going to get your information about the car. And Drive Mode Explorer, so this is going to tell you what each one does. So that is pretty simple to figure out what you're going to have. When you go into sport, you're going to get a sport traction, a high regenerative braking, a sport shifting, a few different things there. Now you go to e-hybrid. This is just going to give you your information there. You can look at your power flow if you want, your driving history, schedule your charging, and you got your e-save setting, so you can set that up to save or charge your battery. And then there is where your levels are at right now. If you have a lower charging rate, you can actually turn that down to make sure you don't have any issues there. Performance, it's going to give you your turbo and your torque, which is a pretty cool thing to see. And then you also have accessory gauge where you can see your oil temp, transmission temp, and your 12-volt battery. Controls is going to look at your rear view, and that's all that you have there. Go to settings, and this is where you could set up numerous different things. You've got your display, your profile, driver assistance features, clock, phone, camera, your mirrors, lights, brakes, door locks, your seats for your remote start, audio settings, notifications. So this is where you're going to set up all of your major functions. Now it is cool across the top. We do have a few other hotkeys where you can actually hit that and you can adjust your temperature, your heated seat and heated steering wheel if you want right there. This will take you back to all of your widgets on the screen. So you can hit hybrid electric. It'll just give you a little shortcut there on those. There's your profile, any notifications, and then you've got your temperature, whether you've got Wi-Fi connected or not. So moving back, we're going to go take a look at all of your climate control buttons are here, so you don't have to do it up there unless you actually want to. But everything else is right down here. They're real nice. They're just a little push and up and down. Underneath that, you do have a 12-volt plug with no, it's not an actual lighter, even though it looks like one. I'm not sure why that is there, and not just a little flap that goes over that, but interesting. USB-C and USB-A plugs down here. Again, your start stop and your sport button. And back here you have a traditional shifter, which you can slide that over and do manual shifting, and you do have paddles up on the steering wheel also. Volume control, you can actually shut the stereo off and you can turn it up and down right here, which is really nice. I do like this right here. It's really easy to get to and use. Electric parking brake right there. You can shut your electronic stability control off and your parking sensors off if you want to. Come back here. This center console does slide back, so you do have two cup holders. If you want to, you can have it pull forward if you only need the one cup holder. Inside here, yeah, there's not a lot of room in there. It's kind of deep. It's just not very wide or very big. Well, that's all the front. So how about we go to the back and we'll see how I fit back there. I'm about 6 foot, probably gonna be a little tight. All right, getting into the back. Hey, you can just see that the door panel is similar to the front. This is a harder plastic up here. You do have the nice stitching down here and spot for your bottle. Get inside, you do have similar seating to the front with these perforated Alcantara looking seats, but they are not heated like the front ones are. So let's hop on in here. We can see we do have vents back here, and you do have a USB-C, USB-A plug right there. Everything else is basic. You can see my knees are slightly touching. They are not real bad. I would be comfortable back here. It's not as bad as what it seems. This side really not even touching, so you're looking at just touching the back of it. Nothing is going to be a major factor there. I think it would be okay if the person in the front was able to adjust their seat a little bit more. Then you probably would be just fine. Headroom, we are looking at, let me see here, maybe 2 fingers, so maybe an inch of headroom here. So that's actually pretty good. I was really surprised at that. I thought it was going to be less. Well, you've seen the outside, you've seen the inside. Now I think it's time for us to take it for a drive. Let's talk a little bit about pricing, and we are looking at the base GT with the 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine that actually gets 268 horsepower. Is going to start out all the way down at $31,400. Now this RT here, that is the plug-in hybrid with 288 horsepower, is going to start at $41,400. Now our tester here with the track pack and the destination fees comes in at $45,590. So I've been driving this for a couple days, and I really do like it. I drove the GT previously at a media event, and I really loved it. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun. And this RT with the hybrid, plug-in hybrid, getting those free electric miles is actually pretty awesome. I can actually drive to work and back every day without having to use any gas with this car. So that's pretty cool. We've put about 120 miles on it so far, and we're averaging about 45.5 miles per gallon. So there's a little insight for you. So the RT only has about 20 more horsepower than the GT. But where it gets it at is in the torque. This has a lot more torque than the GT does, and we're going to go out here and do us a 0 to 60 run. We should be somewhere around 5.6, 5.7, but we'll just see how it goes. We don't have the RT Plus, which has the PowerShot, I guess they call it, a 15-second power boost, a horsepower boost, but I think this one will do pretty well. We just have a sport button that we have to push. We don't have to change any modes. We hit the sport button, kicks the engine on. We have an auto hold. We're gonna give us brake torque. Ready? 1, 2, 3, here we go. Okay, so these don't like brake torquing, so we're gonna do this one more time without the brake torque because it takes it. So these just take a little while for the turbo to kick in. It's a little better. Now the turbo's in, and we are at 60. Yeah, so no, it's not blazingly fast or anything like that. And I would like to see it jump off the line a little bit more than that, because it does have an electric drive motor back there. So it should have, I feel it should give us a little more go at the beginning. I think they should try to tune it so that the electric drive motor pushes the car as soon as you hit the accelerator while that turbo is getting ready to engage. Or they need to adjust the turbo lag because when you press that power down, completely down, it sits for a second. It honestly sits for a second, and then it starts to go, and then the turbo kicks in. So there's a little hesitation there that they probably need to fix. Make a little adjustment there. That's all. Other than that, other than going from a dead stop and trying to do a 0 to 60, it doesn't matter. If you're driving along and you press on the gas, you get a little bump, and then it turns the turbo in and you're gone. And it's a lot of fun. The dynamics of this car are very, very good, very, very fun. The only thing I've noticed a couple times, but I think the Tonale did it also, was I made a hard turn and it popped up and it like automatically turned on the engine, like it wasn't getting any traction from the front and it needed to do something. The car like freaked out for a second and then everything went back to normal. So I'm not sure what that was, but other than that, this is a lot of fun. This car is tight. You can jerk it around on the road if you want to. It's real tight. It's nice. It's a lot of fun car to drive. Dodge did a really good job with this. Now, your design on the outside, is going to be subject to your preference. I love the front end. I love the way that it looks from the side. Looks decent. Looks good, I think. I like it. If I had to make a choice between the Tonale and the Hornet, I probably would go with this Hornet. I just like the way it is, the way it feels, and the way it looks from the front. Suspension has been great. When you go into sport mode, you get a sport suspension, but it doesn't feel harsh. It still feels soft and easily drivable. So that should not be any major concern. And of course, you shut off the sport and it goes into hybrid mode, softens up the dampening a little bit, and that makes it even a more comfortable ride. I really would not have any problem driving this on long distances. I think it would be great. If you guys haven't hit the subscribe button, go down, hit that subscribe button, and then click on one of these videos up on the screen. One of them is the Alfa Romeo Tonale, which is the sister car to this. And maybe you want to see what that looks like. And then the other one is one that YouTube thinks that you might like. I'm sure you're going to love both of them, and I will see you in the next review.